MSIH looking into fully opening Malaysia's Singapore border. Multi-cornered fights on hand for Sabah state election. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. You're watching Updates at Noon. I'm Jessica Lee. The Ministry of Health is looking at the possibility of fully reopening the Malaysias Singapore border for daily commuters in January. Now, its Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Adam Baba yesterday said the Recovery Movement Control Order or RMCO period over the next 4 months would be an important time for the country as it would determine the possibility to reopen the border with Singapore fully. He said during this time, a more systematic approach would be taken in such areas as border control, physical distancing and the use of personal protective equipment.
Memang merancang untuk kita buka segera yang boleh kerana tekanan daripada masyarakat yang menjurus pada livelihood iaitu ekonomi penting kesihatan penting, ekonomi penting. Kita kena balance dia. Jadi PKP pemulihan yang berlangsung selama 4 bulan ni lah waktu yang paling penting untuk kita bukan try error kita mesti ikut data-data dan juga peraturan-peraturan yang kita boleh sangkal sekiranya pembukaan tersebut dilaksanakan.
He also explained the ministry was looking at doubling its capacity in swab tests for travellers under the Reciprocal Green Lane or RGL and Periodic Commuting Arrangement PCA plans. Datuk Sri Dr. Adam said in considering whether to fully open the border, the ministry had to consider the people's livelihoods which had been affected by COVID-19. He said this after attending the unveiling of a tribute to frontliners in the form of a mural constructed from Lego bricks at the Legoland Malaysia Resort near Johor Bahru yesterday. The mural was unveiled by Johor Menteri Besar Datuk Hasni Mohamad, Datuk Sri Dr. Adam and Tourism and Arts Culture Minister Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri. Meanwhile, Datuk Hasni said the state government would continue to push Putrajaya to open up the border with Singapore as soon as possible. Now, police have tightened roadblocks on every road connecting Kota Star with other districts and established a team to step up control at rat lanes or illegal routes in areas placed under the Administrative Enhanced Movement Control Order or EMCO. Now, Kota Star District Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Rezwan Saleh said 7 roadblocks have been mounted, namely in front of Restoran Haji Ramli Simpang 4, Jalan Batas Pipe Kuala Kedah, in front of Alo Janggus Police Station, in front of Kepala Batas Police Station, Jalan Hutan Kampung, Alustar Utara and Alustar Selatan Toll Plazas. He said a total of 21 teams will be performing scheduled monitoring to ensure that no one violates the administrative EMCO rules set. He said this to reporters at the Kota Star District Police Headquarters yesterday. On Thursday, Senior Minister for Security Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the government would enforce the administrative EMCO in 28 areas in Kota Star Kedah from yesterday midnight until the 25th of September, which would involve a total of 366,787 residents. The decision was made after taking into account the increase in COVID-19 positive cases involving Sungai and Tawa clusters in the district. Now, in accordance with the Administrative Enforced Movement Control Order or EMCO in the Kota Star District from 11th of September until the 25th of September, the Marine Department, through a media statement, informed that ferry services from Jetty Penumpang Kuala Kedah to Terminal Penumpang Kuah Langkawi and vice versa have temporarily ceased operations for the duration of the EMCO. Therefore, ferry passengers who wish to disembark at Terminal Penumpang Kuah must board a ferry from the Kuala Perlis Ferry Terminal. Due to this, the Marine Department also expects to see an increase in passengers at the Kuala Perlis ferry terminal for the next 2 weeks. In addition, passengers are advised to first refer to ferry schedules through the link http://time.langkawiferryline.com to plan their journey and avoid any inconvenience. Now, the Sabah state election begins today with the nomination process, with a total of 73 nomination centres, including community halls and schools, are provided for this purpose. The election will witness candidates contesting in 73 state seats, including 13 new seats. Sabah Bersatu Chief Datuk Sri Haji Noor is involved in a three-cornered fight in his bid to retain the Sulaiman seat. Now, Haji 65, who is representing Perikatan Nasional PN, will be challenged by Warisan Plus's Datuk Ali Asgar alias Ali Ashkar Basri and Parti Cinta Sabah PCS Datuk Rekan Hussein 64. Haji has been the Sulaiman State Assemblyman since 1990. Sulaiman returning officer Muhammad Sofian Alfian Nair said Rekan was the first candidate to submit his nomination papers at 9:05 a.m. today. The Election Commission, EC, had fixed polling day on the 26th of September and early voting on the 22nd of September. A total of 1.12 million voters are eligible to vote in the election.
Kepercayaan kepada Tuhan, kesetiaan kepada raja dan negara, keluhuran perlembagaan, kedaulatan undang-undang, kesopanan dan kesusilaan.
Investigation into the murder case of former Cradle Fund Chief Executive Officer Nasrin Hassan continues with the 28th witness, former personal driver of the deceased, giving his statement. The former driver told the Kuala Lumpur High Court yesterday that he was certain he never sent Nasrin to a shopping centre in Bangsa to meet his wife, Samira Muzaffar. Muhammad Nabil Fakir informed the court when requested by attorney Tan Sri Shafi Abdullah to explain the events that happened a day before the victim was found dead on the 14th of June 2018. According to Nabil, on 13th of June, he sent his employer home to Mutiara Damansara in the evening and not to Bangsar. Previously, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi presented WhatsApp chats between his client and Nasrin, in which there was a conversation about the two having promised to meet in Bangsar on the evening of 13th of June. On the 12th of March 2019, Samira Muzaffar, 45, two male teenagers aged 17 and 14 years old, and Indonesian Eka Wayu Lestari, who is still at large, were alleged to have murdered the victim. They were accused of committing the crime at a house in Mutiara Damansara between 11:30 at night on the 13th of June 2018 and 4 a.m. on the 14th of June 2018. The trial before Judge Dato Abdul Karim Abdul Rahman will resume on the 25th of September. Now, the labour market has improved in July and the country unemployment rate recorded 2 consecutive months of reduction. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Economy, Datuk Sri Mustafa Mohamad, informed that a large portion of the economic sector also reported an increase in manpower since June. Sectors with the most significant increase are service sectors such as accommodation, food and beverage F&B activities, arts, entertainment and recreation, transportation and activities related to information and communications technologies such as e-commerce and e-hailing. Meanwhile, the Industrial Production Index, or IPI, comprise three main sectors, which are mining, manufacturing and electricity, reported positive growth of 2.1% year-on-year in July 2020, after having suffered 4 consecutive months of deterioration since March. The production sales value remained at a steady growth rate of 1.9% year-on-year to 119.3 billion ringgit from 117 billion ringgit in July last year. The economic recovery and activity is in line with the government's commitment to reopen the economy in stages since May. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, or KPDNHEP, is actively promoting micro-franchise businesses that are relevant to the B40 and M40 groups. Now, this initiative will create job opportunities to the B40 and M40 groups, besides generating profit to the franchises. The Ministry's Secretary General, Datuk Sri Hasnul Zamzam Ahmad, said the Ministry has conducted discussions with several industry players who have the potential to offer affordable franchise packages which require capital of 100,000 ringgit and below, as well as 50,000 ringgit and below micro-franchise.
Jadi dengan adanya option yang harganya lebih murah, ini akan membolehkan lebih ramai usahawan untuk menceburi bidang franchise, dan juga boleh memudahkan mereka untuk mendapat bantuan-bantuan kewangan seperti pinjaman, latihan dan sebagainya.
To date, 11 franchise brands have offered micro and affordable packages. He said KPDNHEP has strategic partners who offered financing to those interested in venturing into the business, namely Small Franchise Financing Scheme, or SPKF, Franchise Development Fund, DBPF, and Franchise Financing Scheme, SPF. Coming up in sport, JDT closing on 7th Super League title. Now, Malaysia is adopting a wait-and-see approach over the national badminton squad's participation in the Thomas and Uber Cup meet in Denmark next month due to concerns over the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Youth and Sports Minister Datuk Sri Rizal Merican Nine American said although the Badminton Association of Malaysia, BAM, was ready for the prestigious meet, the ministry preferred to wait for confirmation from the other competing nations as well.
Saya difahamkan mengikut apa yang disebut, kalau ada 1-2 negara daripada top 4 ke top 5 ni, kalau menarik diri maka mereka terpaksa mengambil keputusan untuk menangguhkan. Tapi pada waktu ini tidak ada lagi dengan negara tersebut. So we just wait another 1 or 2 days. Saya difahamkan Indonesia will be making their stand tomorrow atau day after tomorrow.
The minister said this when asked on Malaysia's participation following the decision by several nations to withdraw from the meet due to COVID-19 concerns. Following the footsteps of Taiwan and Australia, Thailand recently became the latest country to withdraw from the tournament. This year's Thomas Uber Cup has already been postponed twice, and if goes on as scheduled, it will be the first major badminton tournament to be held since COVID-19 went on to become a global pandemic in March. Moving on to football, Johor Darul Takzim, or JDT, look on track for a record 7th straight Super League title after beating Terengganu FC 1-0 last night. The match at the Sultan Mizan Zain Al Abidin Stadium in Kuala Terengganu saw the Southern Tigers grab the winning goal in the 5th minute when Safawi Rasid capitalised on an erroneous back pass by defender Agzim Rezovic.
Well, I think a goal is a goal. Normally, the mistakes are because something else happens before. So I think we did a good pressing. I think we jumped the line very good in the pressing so they can commit the mistake, and we took advantage of the situation.
Saya rasa bola kita kena profesional. Mana kita main, kita bagi out. Walaupun saya asal naik negeri Terengganu, tapi saya kerja dengan JDT, so saya kena profesional.
With 6 wins and draw, Benjamin Mora's side are currently top of the Super League with 19 points. Perak bounced back from 3 games without a win, including last week's humiliating 7-0 loss to JDT to beat UITM-FC 1-0 at the Perak Stadium. Muhammad Sharil Fikri, Muhammad Fauzi's header in the 4th minute following Muhammad Rafiuddin Rodin's free kick was enough for the Boscaros squad to end UITM-FC's 4-match unbeaten record and rise to 2nd place in the table with 11 points.
Look, I just got to congratulate my boys because tonight's game was very, very good. Very good. From the start to the finish, the boys fought well. They gave 100%, the commitment, the enthusiasm. Yeah, this is my team. We win together and we lose together.
And that's it from us this afternoon. In our top story, MOH looking into fully opening Malaysias Singapore border. News at 10 comes on this evening on My Free Views Berita RTM News channel. I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for watching.